Hello, and welcome to History Heroes, the channel where we explore the lives and achievements of some of the most influential figures in history. Today we are going to talk about Genghis Khan, the founder and first great Khan of the Mongol Empire, which became the largest contiguous empire in history after his death. How did he manage to conquer such vast territories in Asia and Europe? What were his motivations and strategies? And what was his legacy for the world? Let's find out. Genghis Khan was born in 1162 near Lake Baikal in Mongolia. His original name was Temujin, meaning iron or blacksmith. He belonged to the Borjigin clan of the Mongols, a nomadic people who lived in tents and moved with their herds of horses, sheep, goats, and camels across the steppes of Central Asia. They were divided into many tribes and clans that often fought with each other for resources and prestige. Temujin's early life was full of hardships and challenges. His father, Yeski, was the chief of the Borjigin clan and the leader of the Kamag-Mongol Confederation. He was poisoned by a rival tribe when Temujin was only 9 years old. Temujin inherited his father's position, but he had to face many enemies who wanted to take his place or destroy his clan. He was captured by a rival clan and enslaved, but he managed to escape with the help of a friend. He also lost his wife, Bort, who was kidnapped by another tribe, but he rescued her with the help of his allies. He fought many battles and wars against other tribes and clans, sometimes as an ally and sometimes as an enemy. Through his courage, charisma, cunning, and diplomacy, Temujin gradually united all the Mongol tribes under his rule. He also made alliances with other nomadic peoples, such as the Turks, the Tatars, the Karats, the Naimans, and the Uyghurs. He established a code of law called the Yasa, which regulated the conduct of his subjects and enforced loyalty, justice, and order. He also reorganized his army into a decimal system, dividing it into units of 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000 men. Each unit had a leader who was loyal to Temujin and responsible for his men's training, discipline, and equipment. Temujin also adopted new weapons and tactics from his enemies, such as siege engines, gunpowder, and spies. In 1206, at a great assembly called a Kurultai, Temujin was proclaimed as Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler or oceanic ruler. He was now the supreme leader of all the Mongols and their allies. He had a vision of expanding his empire beyond Mongolia and bringing all the peoples of the world under his rule. He believed that he had a divine mandate from Tengri, the sky god of the Mongols, to conquer the world. Genghis Khan launched his first campaign in 1207 against the Western Xia dynasty in northwestern China. The Western Xia were a Buddhist state that had been paying tribute to the Mongols since 1205. However, they refused to join Genghis Khan's invasion of China in 1209. Genghis Khan besieged their capital city of Yinchuan for several months until they surrendered and agreed to pay more tribute and provide troops for his army. Genghis Khan then turned his attention to the Jin dynasty in northern China. The Jin were a Jurchen state that had conquered most of northern China from the Song dynasty in southern China in 1127. They had also been paying tribute to the Mongols since 1205. However, they refused to acknowledge Genghis Khan as their overlord and insulted him by calling him a barbarian. Genghis Khan declared war on them in 1211 and invaded their territory, with a large army of about 200,000 men. He used his superior mobility, speed, and surprise to defeat their larger but slower army in several battles. He also employed siege warfare to capture their fortified cities. He sacked their capital city of Zhongdu, modern Beijing, in 1215 after a year-long siege. Genghis Khan then moved westward to conquer Central Asia and eastern Persia. He attacked the Kara-Khitai Empire in 1216 to 1218. The Kara-Khitai were a Turkic state that had ruled over Central Asia since 1124. They had been weakened by internal strife and rebellions by their Muslim subjects. Genghis Khan easily defeated them and annexed their lands. He then invaded the Khwarezmian Empire in 1219 to 1220. The Khwarezmian Empire was a Muslim state that had ruled over eastern Persia and Central Asia since 1194. It was ruled by Shah Muhammad II, who had expanded his domain by conquering the Abbasid Caliphate in Baghdad and the Seljuk Sultanate in Anatolia. He had also been paying tribute to the Mongols since 1218. However, he provoked Genghis Khan's wrath by killing his envoys and merchants who had come to trade with him. Genghis Khan swore vengeance and invaded his territory with a huge army of about 300,000 men. He crushed the Khwarezmian army in several battles and pursued the fleeing Shah across the Caspian Sea and the Caucasus Mountains. He also sacked their capital city of Samarkand and other major cities, such as Bukhara, Merv, Nishapur, Herat, and Balkh. He massacred millions of people and destroyed their irrigation systems, crops, and buildings. He also sent his generals to raid Russia, Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. Genghis Khan returned to Mongolia in 1223 after his successful campaigns. He spent the next few years consolidating his empire and preparing for his next conquests. He also divided his empire among his 4 sons, Jochi, Chagatai, Gugidi, and Tolui. He appointed Ogidi as his successor and gave him the eastern part of the empire, including China. He gave Jochi the western part of the empire, including Russia and Central Asia. He gave Chagatai the central part of the empire, including eastern Persia and Afghanistan. He gave Tolui the homeland of Mongolia and the surrounding regions. Genghis Khan died in 1227 during his campaign against the Western Xia dynasty, which had rebelled against him. His death was kept secret for a while until his body was brought back to Mongolia and buried in an unknown location. His empire was inherited by his sons and grandsons, who continued to expand it in all directions. Genghis Khan was one of the most remarkable conquerors in history. He created an empire that stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Adriatic Sea, covering about 22% of the world's land area and 25% of its population at that time. He unified the Mongols and other nomadic peoples into a powerful military force that swept across Eurasia like a storm. He also established a system of administration, law, trade, communication, and culture that facilitated the integration of his diverse subjects. He promoted religious tolerance, meritocracy, literacy, and innovation among his people. He also initiated a period of peace and prosperity known as the Pax Mongolica, which fostered cultural exchange and transmission among different civilizations. Genghis Khan's conquests also had a profound impact on world history. They changed the political map of Eurasia and altered the balance of power among various states and regions. They also caused widespread death and destruction that affected millions of people and their environment. They may have also contributed to the spread of diseases such as the bubonic plague that caused the Black Death in Europe in the 14th century. Genghis Khan is remembered differently by different people and cultures. Some view him as a hero, a visionary, a liberator, a civilizer, or a protector. Others view him as a villain, a tyrant, a destroyer, a barbarian, or an oppressor. His legacy is complex and controversial, but it is undeniable that he shaped the course of world history. Thank you for watching this video on History Heroes. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos on historical figures. Also, don't forget to comment below and share your thoughts on Genghis Khan and his conquest.